Years ago, a week late, this is what I remember. And your whole body was covered in hair. I started having contractions the night before I was scheduled to be induced. I'd been sleeping on the couch for the last month because it was softer. I slept through some of the night. By 5 a.m., the contractions were very strong, and I considered going to the hospital, but something the nurse said kept playing in my mind. Once you come in, you won't be allowed to eat until the baby is delivered. The contractions kept getting closer together, then farther apart. Scott was timing and recording them. 10 a.m. I'm just going to make some toast and then we'll go. 10 seconds later. We're going right now! The hospital was nearby, but by the time I got to bed, I was in constant pain. The nurse had misled me. Between contractions, you'll rest. You can meditate through them. The pain increases, decreases, then pauses. It helps if you can visualize it. There was never a pause. It got worse. The IV of antibiotics they gave me, because I tested positive for strep B, hurt as much as the labor pain. Someone ignited my arm while they skewered it with a metal stake. I couldn't handle it. I wasn't going to get a gold star. Can I have an epidural? Can she have an epidural? They cranked the bed up high and told me to hang on to Scott for stability. Every pregnant woman learns if you move during an epidural, you'll be paralyzed forever and probably go to hell. Isn't there something I can hang on to that can't move? It worked. Everything was bright and glorious. There may have been angels singing. Now I just had to wait until 4, the established pushing time. I didn't mind not eating. My parents had gotten into town and stopped by our place to take the dog out. They were looking at a photo album I'd made for labor. This was another of the nurse's suggestions at the hospital's birth class. Bring soothing pictures. Oh, ha ha ha, what are those? They're cashew nuts. You say cashew nuts instead of cashews? He always says tuna fish, too. What else would you call it? Tuna. Did you eat any of the soup I made you? No, but I found the most delicious bread in your toaster. At 4:37 p.m., Zia was successfully born. We would go home with a real live baby. How bad is it? Some doctors stitch him up like they're tying up a boat. I'm performing cosmetic surgery that'll never be appreciated enough. My hospital dinner that night was full of meat, so I sent it back. Oh, yuck, I just ate beef. By the time they went to get the replacement meal, the kitchen was closed. A nurse found some crackers for me. 2 days later, we went home. This is going to blow Kirky's mind. When I became pregnant, my doctor recommended an OBGYN who wasn't available, so I booked an appointment with her partner in practice. Old white man. I never imagined I'd see a male gynecologist, but pregnancy made me lazy. I never sought out other options. Ha! My wife borrows my socks, too. They were my own socks. The Hispanic ladies shout, "Ay, ay, ay," when they give birth, and the Jewish ones yell, "Oi, oi, oi." White women just scream, "Oh, fuck!" Oh, heh heh. I stayed. Even after my miscarriage, I went back to him. This 350-pound woman gave birth while crossing the street. The baby just fell out. The guy at the pizza place saw it and rushed out to wrap the baby in tinfoil. Why wasn't she wearing underwear? Ha! He told me a story every time I saw him. His wife was the receptionist. They had 4 kids. Does anybody here speak Spanish?
I can read it.
A little bit.
Awesome, Jill.
Gracias, ¿cómo está tu pequeño? ¿Duermes?
There we go. No translation. The waiting room looked like my parents' living room in the 90s. It was pink and Victorian. A non-functioning wood-burning stove dominated the space. All I could think was that it seemed to be right for cremating babies. I stayed because bland waiting rooms are worse. And there's my baby. This is the scowling face she made every time she was nursing. Zia's been crabby, frustrated, and rude lately. Good morning. Where are the colored pencils? I need them. Relax, I cleaned them up, but I can get them back out for you. And where is the goddamn black pen? I was one of 2 student council representatives for the 2nd grade. All I had to do was take notes in meetings. I was ambitious, though, so I presented an idea to the principal. This is me at that age. I want the school to have a stuffed animal day. You mean a contest? Who has the best stuffed animal? No, I was thinking everyone would just bring one for the day for fun. You can have a contest. The other 2nd grade rep and I wrote some categories for the competition. Cutest, weirdest, saddest, most colorful. We were allowed to enter. Someone else would judge our class. I knew the cutest category would be the most competitive. You get to come to school with me. I signed Fluffy up for weirdest. The hardest decision was most colorful between a parrot and a calico cat. The parrot had bright colors, but was only red, yellow, and blue. The cat had many colors, but none of them was saturated. I liked the cat a lot more. I can't remember which one I picked. Fluffy won the ribbon for weirdest. Yes. His competitor, a pickle man, was undeniably weirder. Who would want such a thing? It was no fun to win under bad judgment. When I was in 6th grade, I ran against the owner of the pickle man for student council president. Me, John H., Sarah. Both of my running mates were popular. They split the cool vote, and I won. I beat John H. unfairly again. How unlikely. The last time he would acknowledge me, we were hanging out in my yard with a girl he liked. He's about to realize he's been lying on a pile of dog poop. In preschool, we drew what we wanted to be when we grew up. Easy. I wanted to be a bunny feeder. This is the actual drawing. I remember that in my head it was like this. The cage had to be large enough for me to stand up in. It would be in my parents' front yard. Bunnies would be captured, fed, petted, and released. I must have anticipated that I wouldn't afford my own apartment on bunny feeding alone. It's not unlike cartooning. I grew up Catholic. I liked parts of church like singing in a group. Our choir director used to say, singing is praying twice. Please let that be true. I didn't pray enough. I prayed for things I wanted, of course. God, please make me get my period like everyone else. Please make someone like me. Please make my face clear up. It still hasn't. I forgot about all the meaningful ways to pray, accept what is. Don't judge. Breathe. The last time I recall praying to God was when I was in the hospital after my miscarriage. The only decoration on the wall was a crucifix. I was too weak to walk across the room to the bathroom. Don't look down. A nurse helped me out of bed twice. Both times I fainted on the toilet instead of peeing. God damn it. I finally asked for a bedpan, which I'd never used before. It's nearly impossible to intentionally wet the bed. Jesus, help me pee. After a while, he came through. So much. Oh, thank you, God. By the time I was done, my butt was deeply submerged. The new term for spinal tap is lumbar puncture. You have to be in the fetal position to get it done. If your spine is leaking fluid, you'll have to come in for a blood patch. Who's naming these things? I got the headache for 2 summer weeks. Crookie avoided me the whole time. You're a disservice, dog. I don't really want to be all wet, but it's a sponge bath. I did a little research on MS. A common first symptom is vision impairment. No, seeing is my favorite thing. Can also cause gait problems and immobility. Walking is my favorite thing. Another symptom is fatigue. Having energy is my favorite thing. And also mood swings and depression, of course. Feeling normal is my favorite thing. Or it may cause incontinence. Not having accidents is my favorite thing. There are also cognitive symptoms like memory loss. The whole point of doing anything is to remember it. I like riding in your miniature van, Dad. Thanks. Oh my God, did you see that sign? This Thanksgiving, you don't want to be my pants. They mean their pants will be too tight, but it could also mean they're going to shit their pants. And it's a bar. They'll be so drunk there on Thanksgiving, they're going to shit their pants. You don't want to be my pants. All I had going on for Thanksgiving was to be your pants, but if that's your plan. What time are people coming tomorrow? Well, I don't know. I told everyone 11. That sign, I forgot all about it. It's just as funny. Sometimes when I laugh to the point of tears, it becomes real crying, and I'm suddenly very sad. All right. Thank you.